Hey guys, welcome back to the Hillside once again. It is fall, it is time for fall planting, but before I need to do that, I need to first make this bed and fill it before I can plant my fall crops. So watch this video, follow along, and let me show you how it's done. Now, I love fall gardening probably more than a lot of people do, or maybe you don't even fall garden at all. But fall is a great time to be in the garden. Not only is it not super hot, so you're able to get outside and enjoy it, you can get the work done without getting sweaty or just overly exhausting yourself. And right here, I have some lettuce I've grown some seed. This is butter crunch lettuce and some little baby flowers here. But I do plan on putting into this raised bed this fall. Before I do that, I need to fill it up. So I want to show you how you can fill your raised beds up on the cheap with material that you can find easily or at very little cost. Most people are probably just giving it away, so you can do this for practically nothing. Let me show you. So first off, let's talk about the ingredients. So the first thing you want to do is after you line the bottom with cardboard, okay, and this doesn't have to be super perfect. This side right here has got a little bit, that's going to be okay, okay? Next you're going to do, what I like to do is put in your coarse materials like this, and these are some old stems from pruning up the garden here the other day, some old spent flowers. That's fine. Next, something that's very free, abundantly available, and there for you just to take as you need. Pine straw and pine mulch. Now this stuff you can rake up underneath the pine tree. That bag out of there. Pine trees have tons of matter like this, and you rake it up and you're gonna get the leaves, all this nice organic material. Now what you want to do is make sure your coarse material like this is always on the bottom, because it's going to be kind of as an aerator. It's going to let little pockets down there. It's going to break down, and it's not going to be readily available for your plants for nutrition wise. So this is going to be at the bottom of your bed, just your rough material to help establish just some organic materials down below that are always going to continuously break down. And over time, we're just going to add more to the beneficial bacteria. It's going to attract worms. It's going to be awesome when this bed matures. So then I can spread the rest of this out, and I'll tell you about the next ingredients. All right, now this sad example of a pepper, I see this all the time. People grow plants, and at the end of the season, they just throw the entire pots away. They throw the plant away. They may save the pot. Maybe most of the time they don't. And then, honestly, this plant has outlived its usefulness. It's obviously yellow. I harvested tons of peppers off this thing, but now I can use it to contribute to my fall garden. So this is another reason why I love making beds in the fall as opposed to the spring, because in the spring, materials maybe not that abundant. It might be still snowing. It could be just coming out of some frost and cold days. You don't have all this organic matter to add to a bed to create it from scratch. So what I like to do is very simply, just going to take this pepper, cut this out, and then you just break it apart. Look at all that nice dirt, right? You're just gonna throw this away? I think not. This thing has been contributing all summer long. You've been adding fertilizers, organic material. All this stuff does not need to go to waste. It's right there, okay? Now if you want to, you could really even go to the process of taking some pruners and just chopping this up. This is just fine material. Maybe if you'd have done that, you should have put it at the bottom, like I said before, with all the coarse materials. No big deal. I'm actually gonna throw this in the compost pile and break it down. And as a bonus tip, a lot of people don't know why I saved the pepper material like this. I dry this out, and if you have a barbecue grill where you like cooking over charcoal or just have like campfires, dried pepper, dried pepper wood is what I call it. This is awesome for fire starters. It starts early, starts easily, it burns hot, great for fire starters. So try that out. Try saving some peppers and using that as a fire starter material this fall when you're having those nice campfires on those nice cool autumn evenings. Okay, so what's next? If you have access to animal manures or some kind of good composted down materials, this is actually, I cleaned my rabbit cage out, so this is basically fresh, but not too fresh rabbit manure with the bedding and the straw and some hay feed and stuff in there for them. Now remember, your plants are going to not want to get in contact with the fresh, hot manure of like horses and cows and pigs and chickens. Rabbit manure is interesting because it actually doesn't need to break down. It's readily available to the plants. It's not going to burn them, but still I'm going to bury them deep enough that it's not going to really interact with the roots immediately. As the plants take time to grow down to it, by then it's probably broken down enough that it's not going to be an issue at all. So go ahead and just dump that in and spread that out as you see. Now, if you're fortunate enough to have a coffee drinker in your family who uses little cups, disposable cups, well, you know, inside of those are nice, perfectly fine coffee grounds. So I've been basically to saving those, scooping them out into this old coffee gallon jug, I guess, coffee-filled coffee grounds. And this is a good time to kind of add this to your bed, as the coffee grounds will be a nice slow-release nitrogen. It's actually going to attract the worms. Worms love coffee grounds. Everything you're doing right now is just building fertility and building the basis for excellent plants for your garden in the fall and for in the spring and many summers and futures after that. Alright, so now at this point you have two choices. Now, I prefer to fill the bed in the fall and let it rest. Okay, you know why is that? Because look at all those different materials you put in here, okay? It needs time to get rained on. It's going to get snowed on depending on your climate. It will snow where I'm at. It will freeze and thaw, freeze and thaw. All that will attract the worms, the bugs, the microorganisms are going to just fill this bed, okay? This is full of bazillions of bacteria beneficial from all the manures and the potting soils and the pine straw and all the stuff we added to it. Okay, so right now here's the choice you have. You can either A, top this up with some homemade compost, maybe some bagged compost. You can even add more horse manures and things like that, and just some crushed up leaves in the fall. Add your grass clippings. Just leave this bed hands off. Okay, that's what gives you the option in the fall that is superior to that in the spring, is it gives you the option to keep adding more and more and more. And it's only about maybe a little over a third of the way full. So I have plenty of room to keep filling this up, which I could if I plan on leaving it until the spring. However, I have some transplants like I showed you, the lettuce. I want to kind of get this bed underway now, as opposed to letting it sit to the spring, just because I just want to have some extra stuff growing, because my beds are pretty much all full, and this is just how I'm expanding this late in the season, and this is an experiment to see how it does as an aged versus unaged compost bed. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you two products that I like to use. Now, I did mention this video is supposed to be on the free and on the cheap, and like I said, you can just keep continuously adding materials. Find some manure, some old straw, some hay, some leaves, some grass clippings, whatever you want. Make this into basically just a compost pile in this essence, or a lasagna bed, however you want to look at it. And by the spring, it's going to be ready. Add some compost on top, plant directly into it, you're good to go. However, like I said, I want to do it right now. So what I need to do is not put my plants directly into this material. So I'm not going to do this on camera right now, but I have some Fox Farm. This is called the Ocean Forest, one of their more popular potting mixes, and it's really good stuff. Now this is a little bit more expensive, but it is, I mean, it's high quality. It has bacteria and microorganisms and plant ocean minerals and things like that, earthworm castings, bat guano, other things like that. So it's going to add even more fertility. Okay, so if I was to fill this bed the rest of the way up with potting soil, that's what I would do. I'd fill the bed the rest of the way up with potting soil. I would plant directly into that. Okay, now I would add other things such as, and this could be any brand, I'm not advertising for anybody. This is the soil conditioner. It has the mycorrhizae, humic acid, which you can get from scraping up around trees in the woods, things like that. This also has bat guano and worm castings as well to jumpstart your garden. Okay, so that's going to add even more stuff, which may not be necessary if you add this much organic matter, because, like I said, this is going to break down. This is not plant available at this stage right here. You put a plant into this, it's not going to grow. It's going to burn up all the nitrogen and the nutrients, or just really not mixed together, and they're not really plant available yet until your worms and your bacteria get in here and kind of break it down. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stop the video right here. Hope you guys did enjoy watching how you can kind of start from scratch. Why I prefer to start in the fall, because that's when the resources are available. You have the old plants you can throw in there. You have a constant supply of manures if you have pet rabbits or chickens or cows or something like that, and you let it sit for the whole fall and winter time. and be ready to go in spring. Okay, so if you're going to start a new bed, I advise you to do it in the fall. Okay, guys, in the fall, because if you do this early in the spring, you get excited, you want to start gardening or start a new bed, it's just not going to be ready. Okay, it's not be ready for you to plant directly into, and I'm afraid it might burn some of your plants up, as I've done in the past, adding plants to beds that are fresh, that weren't really mellowed out, weren't ready to receive the plants, and I had poor results. Okay, so hope you guys did like watching this. Please give this a thumbs up and subscribe if you did enjoy it. Tell me some comments down below, some things you're growing this fall. I wish you all the best, and I'll see you next time here on the Hillside. All right, guys, thank you. Bye-bye.